Good morning and welcome to Inside News. I'm Serena and today is Friday, September 26th, 2025. Our mission is to look past the major headlines and bring you the vital, underreported stories from Thursday 25th that are truly shaping our world. We begin this morning broadcast in Africa. In Madagascar, anti-government protests over chronic water and electricity cuts turned violent in the capital, Antananarivo. Local reports indicate a deadly clash between demonstrators and security forces. The youth-led Generation Z movement is mobilizing online, calling for continued action against infrastructure failures and corruption. Meanwhile, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the UN is highlighting persistent systemic corruption by elite groups. Despite its vast mineral wealth, the nation faces severe developmental challenges, with UN officials calling for renewed international pressure to stem the illicit financial flows that are draining the country's resources. Finally, in Malawi, former President Peter Mutharika is projected to have won the recent general election, marking a significant political comeback 5 years after he was previously voted out of office. Now turning to Europe, where we find stories of historical redress and digital regulation. Denmark has formally issued a historic apology and established a compensation fund for Greenlandic women who were forcibly sterilized by Danish authorities between the 1960s and 1990s. The move acknowledges a decades-long human rights scandal that targeted indigenous women and girls. In France, the digital media regulator Arcom convened a high-level event today focused on new strategies to enforce age verification for minors on social media platforms. The initiative aims to protect children from harmful content and address alarmingly high screen time figures reported by the Health Ministry. European members of the P3 group, including France, Germany, and the UK, have warned that economic sanctions against Iran will be automatically reimposed by the end of the month if no progress is made on the stalled nuclear negotiations. Moving to the Middle East, our focus remains on long-term conflicts. In Lebanon, the military chief addressed the UN General Assembly, emphasizing Lebanon's right to full sovereignty and defending the legitimacy of the country's national defense capabilities in the absence of a stable state-controlled defense force. The remarks come amid ongoing tensions along the southern border. In Yemen, in addition to the major strikes, the conflict's human cost continues to escalate. A new report finds that 676 million women globally, the highest figure since the Cold War, live within 50 kilometers of a deadly conflict, with Yemen being a major contributor to this grim statistic. Across the Americas, we find domestic debates with international consequences. In Brazil, a new law approved by the Rio de Janeiro state legislature grants police officers immunity from prosecution if they kill civilians while defending honor or upholding justice. Human rights groups are condemning the measure, warning it risks encouraging extrajudicial killings and undermining the rule of law. In Peru, thousands of people, primarily organized by the Generation Z collective, held mass protests in Lima. The demonstrations targeted President Dina Boluarte and a controversial new law mandating young workers to join a private pension fund, sparking nationwide debate over worker welfare. In the US, the UN held a high-level meeting today focused on the prevention and control of non-communicable diseases and the promotion of mental health. Global leaders are expected to adopt a new political declaration to address these underfunded public health crises. Finally, to the Asia-Pacific region. In Taiwan, authorities are beginning the cleanup after the devastation caused by Typhoon Ragasa. Official tallies confirm at least 14 fatalities and over 100 people still missing after a barrier lake burst, causing catastrophic flash floods in Hualien County. In the Philippines, anti-corruption demonstrations, dubbed the Trillion Peso March, are sweeping across the country. Protesters are demanding accountability for alleged massive corruption schemes tied to government flood control infrastructure projects. In South Korea, intelligence officials released an alarming estimate today, suggesting North Korea now holds up to 2 tons of highly enriched uranium, a significant step up in its nuclear weapons capability. And that's our complete report for the day. From judicial apologies in Europe to youth-led protests in South America, these are the stories that often go unnoticed but are critical to understanding the global landscape. This is Serena with Inside News, bringing you stories beyond the headlines. Until next time.